Hello everyone, welcome to week 3. We're nearing the end of the third week of the second rendition of the CTR Competitive Hub World Cup. As usual, my name is Drask and I'm commentating today. With me we have Orso, our extra special guest commentator.
Hello everybody.
And then as usual we have the lovely Tam joining us as well.
Hi everyone.
So today we've got USA versus Japan coming up for you. So draft has finished. We did have a bit of a delay in getting our POVs and everything. So we've just finished all the setup, so we're all good to go now. And so while we wait, we do have the draft down the bottom. So we can go through it while we wait for the lobby to be set up, as they are only part of the way through. So we can see that Japan ended up banning Inferno, Tiny Temple, and Retro, while USA banned Prehistoric, Oxide, and Android Alley. We see that the track picks, we've got Clockwork Wumpa, Assembly Lane, Mystery Caves, Twilight Tour, Papu's Pyramid, Dingo Canyon, Cortex Castle, Engine Labs, Tiny Arena, and then we're finishing off on Thunderstruck. So I think we've got a bit of an interesting war, though I've got to say we're seeing Assembly Lane and Mystery Caves for the umpteenth time in a World Cup match. So
yeah, they're one of the best tracks to pick, honestly.
Yeah, I'm keen to see tracks like Papu's and Dingo Canyon in the World Cup.
I mean, they're very chaotic, especially Papu, due to the pyramid. But yeah, apart from that, all the tracks are pretty much you see these tracks in every war most of the times.
Yeah, it feels like a bit of a stock standard draft with just a couple little spanners thrown in the works. Like, I don't see Papu's and Dingo very commonly, but like you said, the rest of the tracks here I think are pretty common. Clockwork isn't the most common in the drafts I've done, at least.
Twilight isn't either, right?
Yeah, Twilight's probably a pretty middle-of-the-line track as well, where like some teams do pick it, but it's not picked in every war. But, Assembly, Caves, Labs, Arena, see them in most wars, honestly, if they're not banned.
I mean, the bans are the most important thing in my opinion, because Japan banned basically all the short and, SE balls width tracks that you can basically skate for and stuff.
And interestingly, Japan did, you're correct, they banned like tracks like Inferno and Turbo where SE Pulsewood is quite effective, but then USA didn't pick Slide. So yeah, I think that was a bit of an interesting one, that they didn't ban like arguably the one where it's most overpowered, and then it never got picked. I think
USA on the other end, they banned like Prehistoric, for example, which is one of the most preferred tracks from Japan.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely thought Prehistoric could be banned here, and when I've played Japan in the past, it's always a track they'll pick if you don't ban it. Oxide Station, I was a little surprised to see it banned. I didn't know if I'd see either team pick it, but I was surprised to see it banned. I don't know if Japan's known for being good on Oxide. Maybe I'm just a bit of a Mongol. Ali though, I understand the ban.
Yeah, Ali is a bad track overall.
Yeah,
terrible.
You said it, not me.
There's no other way to say this track is fucking awful.
Yeah, it exists. I'll give it that much credit. That's it. That's all it's getting from me. Definitely not a track I enjoy, and I've seen it way too many times in recent memory. But I think it's interesting that we're starting on Clockwork. Like, we do have some slower tracks right after that in Assembly and Caves, which are really what I feel like is a stock standard war would warm up on, but we're really jumping into it with Clockwork immediately.
Yeah, it's a very chaotic track, especially if you don't have the fire. And it usually ends up in people killing each other.
Yeah.
At least this is what Clockwork is in my eyes. And also, power items can be very useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Also regarding Pulse Width, we have Topa in chat saying that we probably won't be seeing any Portrait today because he's not playing apparently.
So it seems like Topa's their Pulsewood powerhouse. I know that Romu, I've seen him do it in matches before, but definitely Topa is the most effective member of Japan when it comes to SE Pulsewood.
I mean, not that any of these tracks are very, SE Pulsewood friendly.
Dingo Canyon and Caves, I can definitely see Pulsewood being used effectively, but it's not like they're free on those tracks. You have to I feel like you have to know what you're doing more than on a track like Slide, where Slide's probably the easiest to do it on.
I agree.
So it looks like we've got a full lobby, or is it a 7? Let me try and count. Looking like a full lobby, if I can count. Yeah, so we've got means we should be starting shortly. I will give them the go-ahead. Alright, so as soon as they receive that go-ahead, they'll be jumping into the first race, Clockwork. Alright, so while we're waiting, I can just give a small bit of information that I've seen asked in chat about the first stages. So we won't be seeing everyone play everyone to start off. So we've got 5 weeks of seeding, and who you play depends on how well you place. You play against similarly placed teams in those 5 weeks, and then the 2 teams that place the worst overall after the 5 weeks get eliminated, and then we move on to group stages.
Which is basically the same format as we used last year.
Yeah. So if anyone's familiar with last year's World Cup, it's going to be pretty similar to last year. Alright, I love this song, but we have to swap it to Clockwork Wumpa now. Luckily, that's also a banger, so it's okay. And yes, as you can see in the chat, we've got the leaderboard, so you can see, if you click on that Google Doc link, you'll be able to see what teams are placed where, so... Alright, here we go. We'll be jumping into race 1.
Let's go, hype.
Yeah, hopefully we get a good war today. Alright, I'll have to sync up the POVs. We've got some very desynced POVs.
Okay, let's go.
Alright. Alright, synced up and we're ready to go. So we're seeing Dre in the mid spot with an engine here. Really good to have infinite reserves on this track. Allows you to outline people and not lose fire. Taking out one of the Japanese players with a triple bomb there. We see it's looking like an early breakaway for Megumi and Rare here at the start. Sukaneko is hot on their heels trying to get bombs and does take Rare out here. So Megumi has a little bit of a lead. And we see some of our other POVs in the back as an early orb gets thrown. Megumi jumps off to dodge it. Megumi jumping off to dodge it actually means it's retargeted onto first place here, which I believe is Sukaneko. That could actually be
doing left again.
This could actually be disastrous for Japan.
Yeah, indeed.
And we see it actually hits Puya down in 8th here, so that's really rough. It actually cleaves through. Sukaneko has a huge break though, so this actually might not affect the first, but it's really shaken up the pack. See, Dre's come right up into second here. He has his teammate Rare right on top of him, so looking like making sure he doesn't squish his teammate there with that canister as Rare goes a little wider. We see the other USA players squished together there, as I believe Megumi falling off now, which means he's fallen right back into a bottom spot here, potentially going to be able to ankle bite these 2 Japanese players. We see Sukaneko just with the incredible breakaway at the moment, so that first is looking pretty secure now. Rare got taken out here, we see, looking on the minimap, as we see Megumi losing fire. That's really unfortunate for him. As we see Piggy repping Crunk there, also being passed as he lost fire.
Oh, SNK took a red beaker?
Yeah,
mask?
Yeah, it takes the red beaker on the Sacred Fire pad, so he's just going to get passed by everyone he just overtook. Really unfortunate for him there.
Indeed.
So we see Dre is holding second. Well, he was, but he has lost fire. Does manage to ankle bite the third place Porter. So he's probably going to be able to hold that second as his teammates start approaching third place. So Dre losing fire there has actually allowed him to take out third and hopefully get his teammates to catch up. Piggy does get hit by something or falls off, or either way loses fire. Rare does start catching though, up to third. Megumi going for slowdown tech, probably going to try and use his mask to take out SKND here.
Smart move.
And he does it, and he does. Really nice job by Megumi there to take him out in a pretty bad spot too. We see he's coming up to Romu, takes Romu out as well. So now they're going to have bottom 2 here as Piggy in 7th comes up into 6th now. We see Puya getting outlined here by Megumi, which doesn't help that Megumi has infinite and Puya does not. Really demonstrating just how important it can be to have infinite on this track. And we see Megumi even has a bomb under his shield here, which is going to be really rough for Puya. Puya does go wide to try and take off Megumi's shield. Megumi does have the bomb here, but no, it gets taken out instead. Really good job by Puya there to take out Megumi with the triple missile tech there. And we see Dre getting hit on the line, but it's not going to be affecting him, as we see only Rare catches up to him there and does get the pass there. Although Puya getting hit on the line as well, and that is actually going to affect him as Megumi takes up into 4th.
Wow, what a race.
Absolutely chaotic finish there.
I called it.
Yeah, that was a content clockwork for sure. So yeah, we had a bit of a chaotic race there, but really position swapping really frequently in those last few.
Yeah, there was a chance that Japan might get like top 3, but then they got hit and lost all the positions.
Yeah, like
yeah,
it looked hopeful at one stage, but it just kept going back and forth. Now, hopefully this fixes itself. Alright, so interestingly the scoreboard is being a little cheeky and doesn't want to update for me even after I've refreshed it. Luckily, we have a mini scoreboard here that I can show. And we can see that it's 21-18 with a 3-point win there for a USA.
If this was the first race, I cannot wait to see the others, honestly.
Yeah, this was hectic. Alright, so yeah, we're going into assembly lane here. So this is a track where I don't know if Megumi still holds world record. I always say that. I should keep up more. But they obviously had world record if they don't still for a very long time. So potentially if they get the breakaway here, they can just fly. And even if they don't get the break, it's a pretty scary person to have behind you on this track.
Okay, let's see how it goes. They're probably going to go for a mask because it's very powerful.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Alright. So we're seeing Megumi going for the tight mud here, going to try and get the optimal start. Does lose fire though, which could prove detrimental as they get caught up to here. We see SKND going wide there. It looks like 2 Japanese players getting taken out early, SKND and Romu. Puya is pretty... Yeah, Puya's pretty close to Megumi, who lost fire hitting the wall there, trying to get a bomb off. So they're now absolutely on top of each other. Puya not getting a box there. Megumi getting a beaker and manages to take Puya out there. Dre with a 5th place orb casually. Lap 1 there. Almost perfectly on the 30-second mark. Classic Dre tech. We see his POV is frozen for us.
Unfortunate.
Alright, but we see he hasn't thrown the orb. And we see that SKND has been taken out, got masked there early on, just after the start line there. And looks like Romu got taken out as well. That mask from Rare really putting in work. Looks like they took out 3 of the Japanese players, if I'm not mistaken. Piggy now coming through and taking out Puya for a second time, so really bad looking race for Japan, as Sukaneko is the only one in the top 4, and they're being fast approached by Piggy here.
And Dre is now
And
in
he got
a
it too.
horrible position, being in 5th with a juiced orb, having all of its three members right in front of him.
Yeah, very true. Oh, we actually see Puya
Puya
falling
fell?
off there.
Yeah.
But you're right, Dre is in the perfect position to be caught up to now, because he can't defend himself from the people behind him pulling masks, and he just has to sit there and hope for the best. Looks like Sukaneko is going to be trying to take out Piggy here. Don't know if he's going to be successful in landing this 3rd missile. Looks like he was.
Oh my. That's unfortunate. And he got it.
And another orb on Team
Yeah, so
Japan.
we've got one orb each, both unjuiced at the moment. And we see that Japan just throw theirs unjuiced, so we'll see if that actually affects the top 2. But top 2 are really far away, so I don't know if that's going to actually matter. And the unjuiced orb hits Romu. That's terrible for Japan. So their own orb actually is going to cost them positions here. It did hit Megumi, so maybe Sukaneko can catch up, but there's still a sizable gap. And Puya mashes out a 2nd orb. So Dre throws his own orb there as an attempt in a counter. And we just see everyone in the top 3 getting hit there, of course, unsurprisingly. But it looks like Sukaneko manages to get a missile down on Megumi. So Megumi actually surrendering the 2nd place to Sukaneko as they're on top of each other here. SKND being comboed down in 6th, so now he's falling right back. Really unfortunate.
Megumi failing the shortcut there.
Yeah. Really unfortunate for him, as then we see Dre going around it and then takes out Puya. Who's now just... Oh, then gets desync beacon. That's terrible. Megumi getting missiled by a Romu there. So now Japan have 2-3 here. So this last lap, after those power items, has started swinging things into Japan's favour. Rare has got the breakaway at the moment, but we are seeing the 2nd place in particular, but also 3rd, have quite the lead on the rest of the pack, who are really closely knit together. Japan do technically have a bit of an advantage here in the pack here, being bottom 2. They can roll all the masks to take out the people ahead of them, and we see something similar like that as Piggy gets taken out and falls down into 7th alongside SKND here. SKND pulling an engine and does start to break away from Piggy here, who presumably doesn't have fire. We see 2 American POVs just sitting there with shields, so they're just going to be trying to go fast and keep away from Puya here. Puya not really rolling anything useful at the moment, but they're going to be able to hold this position unless Piggy starts catching up with a mask here. They did lose fire, but they managed to use a canister to get it back. Piggy trying to missile Puya here, going to be able to dodge. Does get a mask, so they're looking pretty safe now. It's also important to note that Dre does have a bomb here, and Dre is the one near Puya, so Dre might opt to throw his shield now its last lap to try and take out SKND, not knowing that SKND just chained 3 masks. And yeah, he does attempt the bomb, but it doesn't work. And we see Piggy manages to hold on to 7th, sorry, not 2nd. Hold on to 7th, only barely though.
Still a win for USA though.
Yeah, I believe so.
Talk about chaos. I mean, this was even worse than Clockwork.
Yeah, we're getting some madness here. Now, I'm gonna see if I can fix this scoreboard. I have no idea why it's not working for me.
But we can see it was a 3-point win for the USA guys again.
Yeah, if we have a look at the top, at our mini scores here, which are saving my life, we do see that it is a 6-point lead here. So I do apologise that the main scores just don't seem to be working. I'm trying all 3 tricks in the book I know.
The best track. Let's go.
No stalling,
Alright.
no speedrunning the lobby. You love to see it.
Alright, I've got a oh, alright. I'm just re-adding the source really quick and I might be able to... Okay. I had to re-add the source for some reason. It's back. It's working. Okay. I'm gonna pretend that was really difficult, just so you guys think I'm smart. It wasn't, but but yes, it's I did manage to fix it, but that was mild hiccup. But it's alright. It's all good now. But yeah, we're going into Mystery Caves. Now that the scoreboards are sorted, the whole war's going to come together. We're going to see nice, peaceful, no power items. But if you want to place your bets on how many power items this Mystery Cave's going to have, feel free to chuck them in chat as we're going into the race now. My bet
We already
is...
saw a lot
I think...
power items until now.
I'm thinking 3. How much are you guys thinking?
Yeah, I think 3 as well. 3 to 4.
I'm just gonna say 1, just to be different.
Oh.
If it is 1, I'm gonna really... I'm gonna rage.
Also, snapping is disconfirmed. Alright, so we see Puya taking the shortcut here while we see Dre going wide. Dre masking alongside SKND, both of them coming up here. Sukaneko getting taken out by Dre's mask here. SKND's mask barely not lasting. If it lasted 1 second longer, they would have taken out 2 of the USA players. Instead, they get taken out off the magma ramp here.
Oh, Meg tried this knife, but it didn't work.
Yeah, we see Puya holding a mask in 6th here. Not juiced yet, but could potentially make some devastating work of the USA team here if they can manage to get juiced. But everyone is stealing their Wumpa today.
Oh, Megumi taking us out to his shield there.
Yeah, oh, and this is Romu getting taken out by a beaker in the shortcut there. Rare getting hit by a beaker on the downhill. They are going to be able to get slow fire. So we'll see if they're going to be able to hold their position against Japan, as we see that the top 4, which is held by USA, is really close together as Megumi hits a wall there. Dre getting masked there as Puya starts running through with their mask, decides it's not worth it to hold it any longer. Does take out Megumi as well, so Puya does lose fire, but they do take out 2 of the USA members as they do it, so breaking up that top 4 really nicely. We see Megumi getting taken out again by Romu, and then we see all of the Japanese players pass as Dre and Megumi, formerly top 4, now bottom 2. So top 2, Piggy and Rare. Piggy is a nice break here, not a massive gap, but on caves, that's pretty safe, barring a power item. We see Rare's pretty close to Romu here, but gonna see if Rare's strong lines can help him here. Potentially getting caught up to, I don't know if he has slow fire here. And he does, he gets taken out. Romu takes him out here. Puya deciding to keep his shield there. Pretty smart move, honestly, to be able to protect yourself from the power item here, as we see all of the Japanese players who are stacked on top of each other, really close together. SKND tackling Rare there with the blue shield, just to make sure they can secure 2, 3, 4, 5, as the bottom 3 have now fallen quite far behind. We see Dre just getting engines. Probably see if he doesn't opt to Pulsewood here, even though he's chaining engines. And we see Megumi with an orb. Okay, so Tam's currently correct on the prediction. We're seeing 1 orb here. Does hit Rare, misses SKND, hits Sukaneko and Romu while dodging Puya. So 2 of the Japanese players have been hit, but I don't think it's going to matter yet, because they're not going to be caught up to from this distance because Rare got hit. So we see that Megumi has gotten quite close. If Megumi gets 1 or 2 masks here, they could potentially do something, but they are in 6th. It's only like a 15% chance, I believe. We see Dre's caught right up to Megumi, almost team killed there. Oh, and we see that SKND hits a Nitro.
And another one.
Oh my.
Second power item coming through. We see Dre masking all the way up. Megumi got squished there. Does wait for SKND there. No, Sukaneko, sorry. Alright, Megumi on top of SKND. Not going to be able to take him out there as he pulls a green shield and Megumi has bombs here. So Megumi likely going to be able to hold this 6th though. We'll see if Rare can overtake Sukaneko at the last second. No, Sukaneko holds on to 7th there.
Well.
So I'm pretty sure that was a 1-point win. For which team? I don't know.
So the winner of our bet is Jack.
Jacka G is the winner. You win.
In the chat.
Your prize is us saying your name on stream. That was you got 30 seconds of fame by us mentioning you. I can't offer any more. I'm poor. So take that if you will. Also, thank you, Jackass, for the raid. We're only on we've just finished race 3. I can't speak. Of Japan versus USA. So it's been pretty intense so far, as that was a 1-point win for Japan. And I'm just going to leave the podium up because Crunk's on top and surrounded by porters. This is like a dream come true for me. So now, we see we've got a 5-point difference here.
I think they let him more. You know, Crunk is first. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, exactly. You got to let Crunk win some.
By the way, this race is very tight. Very, very tight. As expected, after all.
Yeah. Alright, just had to mess with the setting there. Alright, going into Twilight Tour, so we've got some VC members. Velo's Champions, which is a competitive clan for those unaware, in the USA team. In fact, all 4 members playing are part of that clan. Anyone that knows the clan knows that Twilight Tour is not a VC track. Every time they play it, they get body bagged. So I am a little worried for them going into Twilight Tour because things don't bode well, but they are representing USA and not Velo's Champions today. So
maybe that changes things.
Perhaps that means they're going to get a top 4. I only just put on
you
music.
You think it's a curse? The clan's curse?
Sometimes it feels like clans have curses.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not very... I don't believe in such things.
Yeah.
So yeah. I understand.
CTR taboo. Crash taboo racing. Oh, we see Dre's stream froze again. Alright, Dre's stream will fix itself. I will just have to unfortunately leave it be, otherwise it will chimp. So we're going to have Dre back in time for a little bit, but he will fix himself shortly. Meanwhile, we see our other 3 POVs going fairly tight. We do see SKND going a little wide there, gets a mask amazingly, takes out literally everyone. Everyone dies. That is just a massacre. I just watched a murder.
What is gameplay? I don't care. Give me first place.
I feel like I should have blurred that. That was just annihilation.
I mean, he's playing after the rule I heard lately. Like, if you get the point of getting a mask early is to press circle.
Yeah, and we see that Megumi has his own mask here. Is going to catch up. Gets up to SKND, the one who ended it all. Gets ended. That's so unfortunate for him. But now we see...
I miss Romu.
Oh, Megumi getting taken out by Romu there as we see Dre with the first place here on his Minecraft stream. Gonna have to get a new POV next race. So we see, yeah. So we can see if you look really closely and squint at the pixels, you see Romu and Dre are on top of each other there. Dre does get a back bomb on Romu though, as Puya throws an unjuiced orb in retaliation, recognizing that his teammate's been taken out and they can just try and take first place out here. The orb does hit SKND, but at a pretty decent spot, so not too bad. Looks like Rare got hit as well. He does go for a back bomb, but he had a mask and storage, and he does hit Rare with it. Dre getting taken out in a terrible spot they're going to be able to be caught up to. SKND definitely dodging their teammate there to avoid the team kill. Oh, almost losing fire. As we see on our other POVs, Dre still holding the first, though Romu is very fast approaching. Lucky for Dre, he does have a bomb here, and gets Romu again. This is deja vu all over again. Romu's having flashbacks to the last lap. Getting comboed there by Piggy, as Megumi then does a triple combo on poor old Romu there. So we don't see any of the top 3 having fast fire, but that doesn't mean they haven't been able to hold the position through item usage. The Japanese players are catching up though. We see SKND does take Megumi's shield off there, does have a bomb, but it's unjuiced. Tries to get a back bomb on Megumi, but misses here. Really hard when you're unjuiced here.
Puya got hit by a beacon.
Yeah, so Puya falling really far down now, as we also see that SKND does get hit as well. This could be the redemption of VC Tour. Oh, and we see a little team kill there by Puya, accidentally squishing SKND. Only going to be a minor time loss though, but could make a difference. We see Dre on his Minecraft stream, mining some blocks, running away with first. So...
yeah, he really has a decent lead and a shield on top of that.
Yeah, he is
looking into that 5.
He is looking pretty safe here, unless he bonks a wall here. And Dre's pretty consistent, so it's looking safe. We see Megumi does have a shield in storage, so only a clock could stop Megumi at this stage, or a trap. Rare getting taken out by SKND there, probably falling down pretty far now. Gonna need some really good mask luck to catch up from that distance in a single lap. We see Puya is in 6th here. Does have triple missiles, not going to be too useful. As we see Romu is really on top of Megumi here. Going to be trying his best to take Megumi out, but with 1 lap, not even 1 lap left, and only about 4 corners, I don't think Romu is going to be able to do it, but we will see. Oh, Megumi bonks the wall! He will do it! He will do it! Oh, but he hit the beaker! This means Megumi's going to be able to get fast fire, and does run away with it. Romu going backwards for fire on lap 5. That's a very interesting strat. Not sure it's going to work out for him, but it looks like he's going to be able to hold all his positions compared to Rare here, who's the only other person he needs to beat.
Incredible.
And that's a top 3 for USA here, surprisingly.
Yeah, so it looks like this is a VC track, at least for today.
I told you I don't believe in these things.
Alright, I'm going to swap to the scores early just this once, because I'm going to have a mess around with Dre's POV, and in that I'm going to go bang on the TV, like in the old days, and get the antenna to work. So I'm going to... really briefly just try and grab Dre's stream here. Oh. Alright. Alright. My inability to multitask is hindering me, but it looks like we can get the POV. Interesting that it's not changing names, but we have a new POV. As much as I know you guys love Minecraft, we have gotten rid of Dre's stream. Dre's not good enough tonight. I'm sorry, Dre. He's a great player he's a very interesting POV to watch, but it's kind of hard to watch when you've got about 14 pixels total on the stream. So we will be using Rare's POV for the rest of this war. I will, after this match, be having a very stern word with Dre's router and tell him, be like, you need to get a new modem.
We swapped from Minecraft to Persona. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, he created his internet modem in Minecraft. And it shows. So yeah, Puppy's Pyramid is going to be a really exciting one to watch here, in my opinion. Absolutely chaotic track. Most people hate racing it. I love commentating it for that reason. I love watching people in pain. It's an interesting way to phrase it. I love racing this track personally. It's because I think chaos is fun, but I understand I'm in the minority. Very few think that. But it's alright, we have Papu's Pyramid going on. We see Rare going mid here. SKND doing his usual slowdown there. Gonna see if he can take Piggy out, who's in the front here, but instead Romu takes him out. Ooh. SKND getting taken out by Shield. Puya getting team killed by SKND there, coming out of the pyramid, as Missile tried to go for Piggy there. Does take out Dre though. Oh no, Dre gets a mask. We are seeing top 2 currently for Japan, though. It looks like Romu gets taken out or has to go wide here. So we're seeing him lose quite a few positions here. He does try and shield Dre here. Dre manages to dodge though. Megumi sitting back in 7th. Does get an engine. You don't really want a juiced engine on this track, unless you already have infinite. And looking up ahead, we see that Rare and Piggy have broken away a little bit, with Sukaneko having a massive lead at the moment. So power item's pretty much the only thing that's going to take away that lead at this stage. They're looking like the pack is closing in on 2-3 here. Bottom 2, especially Romu in particular, have fallen really far behind as Romu falls off in the back there. So they're going to have a really hard time coming back now. We see Puya slowing down with Megumi and then masking him point blank. That's just cruel, but I love to see it. We see
and
then we see Piggy taken out from Puya, using a mask and a missile there. Has another missile going after Rare, but does connect. It connects. Almost gets a second missile, but it phases through the floor because good game. We do see Dre in 3rd now with a top 2 for Japan. Sukaneko actually hit something, it looks like, so they've actually fallen right behind. So they've neck and neck with 1st place here, and 1st doesn't have much of a lead on Dre, so Dre could make work of the top 2 here. Unfortunately, we can't see his POV to see what he's doing, but he does manage to take Sukaneko out here. So it's up to Puya here to hold the 1st, as Dre's coming in fast with a mask. Mask in 2nd place, and he takes Puya out and secures 1st. So now we see Rare's advancing. Rare does get a beaker here, but Puya has a bomb. Looks like Megumi waited on the crossover and is just taking out the Japanese players one by one. Looks like he bombed 2 different players there on the crossover. Rare now getting endlessly comboed in the pyramid here, falling all the way down to 6th. So as much as Megumi stopped to take all the Japanese players out, it actually doesn't seem to have helped in the end, as we see that the Japanese players have all kept their positions.
Killed SNK.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, it didn't, cost him any position after. But still.
So yeah, Megumi with the interesting strat there, but it didn't work out for him in the end, as Japan recovered really well from that and actually manages to secure winning positions off of that. That is a +7 for Japan.
Good old Papu. Never faced amazing people.
Alright, so I'm going to remember to swap the music early because I want to hear this theme. So yeah, I believe the point difference will be roughly 9 after these races. So going into halfway, we're at a single-digit point difference. It's going to be a very close match here, as we see. 9-point difference. So 102 for USA, 93 for Japan. 5 races to go. We have Dingo Canyon coming up as our 6th track.
Oh my!
So
what an elf!
Dingo Canyon's a track that I am personally thinking was a really good pick for USA, because we look at people like Rare. Rare's just obsessed with the track. He's actually shown me his room. He has posters of Dingo Canyon just plastered above his bed. He writes in his diary about how much he loves Dingo Canyon and how free it is every night. But alongside that, as we mentioned, it is a track where Pulsewood is possible if someone decides to go for it, and it's a lot more difficult than other tracks like Slide as the most obvious example. But if people like Megumi and Rare who do Pulsewood quite well, and Piggy, can pull it off, they can manage massive comebacks or massive breakaways doing it. Because going right down that downhill, you can get insane speed through the water.
Yeah, and Dingo Canyon is one of those tracks where recovering is, I don't say almost impossible, but it's very hard to come back.
Yeah, I agree. And I think SE Pulse would actually help you be able to come back to some degree, but I guess the risk is if you do mess up, you just lose so much time. I know So you go on.
Sorry. Okay, the fact is, as you said, this track you can do the SE Pulse with, but it's not really easy. Like, it still requires some skill, It's not like Coliseum, for example. You just go. That's it.
My first time doing SE Pulsewood on Dingo Canyon, I started it at the waterfall jump like you meant to, and I got really fast speed down the hill, and I'm like, wow, this is easy. And then I turned too far left, smacked into the wall in the water, got stuck and lost 4 positions. And I'm just like, well, I'm an idiot.
No.
So yeah, that was an attempt made, just not a good one. So we have been delaying, not for once, I haven't forgotten to change the scene over. So anyone that watches my own streams, you can be proud of me. They are just, I believe, shuffling players or potentially changing hosts, I'm not too sure, but they are just sitting in the lobby right now. So I believe Japan might be subbing. Because I see that Puya, Sukaneko, and SKND are in, but Romu is not anymore. I don't know if Topa's going to be playing instead.
Didn't he say he wasn't going to play? Yeah.
Yeah, Topa said he wasn't going to play, but we don't see Romu in the lobby anymore, so I'm unsure if they have someone else coming in or if Romu's just gone to do something.
Do groceries.
Also, yes, I am seeing people in the chat. It was an interesting choice, as people have pointed out, to just sit on the cross section to take out the opposing team as they're passing. So technically, it is allowed because no one's been overlapped. So because Megumi hadn't been overlapped at all by anyone, they were allowed by rules to be able to do that. And as we saw, as much as it was something they did to take out the other team, it actually did result in the end indirectly. We do see that Japan did get a win in the end, so... but it is allowed. It is allowed, 100%.
I mean, isn't lap 1 everything is allowed?
Mm-hmm.
Lap 1, sorry, as long as you...
Yes, yeah. Yeah, if you're on the same lap, it's fine. If Megumi had have been overlapped there, then yes, that would be a different issue. But because they were technically... Like, yes, the lap counters were different, but as we said, they hadn't been overlapped, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And we see Romu did join back. He just had to go do CTR tech and stall. So right, we are loading in to Dingo Canyon, which is free, by the way. So something interesting I'm thinking of now that we saw the cross hits on Papu's. We have Engine Labs coming up. Are we going to see Megumi do the same thing on Engine Labs? And on Engine Labs, it's much more detrimental if you're hitting someone on the crossover, either side, particularly if you're hitting them at the end of the lap, because then they have no fire for such a long period. So I am curious if we're going to see the second rendition of sitting on the crossover.
I mean, could be. Everything could be. Especially what we saw with Megumi before. So if there is some strategical, move they're gonna pull, they definitely will.
I think if Megumi or maybe even Dre fall behind on Engine Labs, I think we could see it.
Yeah.
So I think we could see one of them just park on the STP. The difference with Engine Labs is it's actually much easier to dodge because you can just choose not to take the drop down. But it's still a possibility. Yeah. But alright, we're going into Dingo Canyon now. Alright, Japanese streams did freeze a second there. I'll see if they fix themselves. But we can see on the USA POVs that Rare is just going really tight there. Did get a really nice shortcut. We see that Romu did get taken out here. And we see Megumi and Rare on top of each other, neck and neck. Megumi going wide to not squish Rare with the canister. So top 2 looking nice at the moment, that they don't have the hugest break in the world.
Where is he does already with the shield?
Yeah, going to be having a juice shield in a second here.
Puya as well, but he has no Wumpas.
Yeah, so we're seeing Rare just running at the moment. Unfortunately, the 2 POVs we have functioning are not doing too much here.
Meg lost fire, but
yeah, Meg's got slow fire back. And we see Rare mess up in the shortcut here.
Oh! Wow. Oh.
Yeah, so we see the Megumi's been taken out here. We see that Romu was up top there, but does get taken out as well. So we see Megumi's in a little pack here. We see Puya on their screen is really far behind, but we see they do have a shield with Megumi right next to them there. We see Rare is just running away. For the meantime, since we only have 1 POV not stuttering, I'm just going to swap to Megumi here, who gets orbed right off of the waterfall there. That's really unfortunate for them.
Incredible.
And so we see that Romu gets masked there as someone comes through. I believe SKND got a bit of a team kill there, which is unfortunate for them. Megumi going for the bigger snipe and missing there. Piggy getting taken out by Sukaneko there, likely by a missile. As we see Rare just with an incredible lead, because of course it's free.
It's strange. Glitched.
Oh.
Yeah, we see that one of the Japanese players got taken out there by Megumi with a shield snipe. 2-3 have a bit of a break there, though we'll see if Puya can get taken out or take out Dre. Dre does manage a bomb, I believe, on Puya there. As we see, Megumi does catch right up. Oh, as Puya hits another trap. And so then Megumi's going to be able to combo. Does come right up into 3rd place there, because I believe Dre was position glitched on Megumi's end. Yeah, as you pointed out. So we see that top 3 for USA here, as Puya starts coming up now. And so we see top 3, and then for USA, and then it looks like 8th as well, so a plus 11 overall.
Dingo is free indeed.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing free Canyon.
Yeah, like I said before, it was impossible to recover. We know pulse width, they didn't know pulse width at all.
Yeah. Alright, now I will swap to scores early here, so we're gonna get the 1 POV. I do apologize for the technical difficulties, chat, but we've had a bit of an interesting issue here. I will see if I can fix. Alright, the streams are looking more stable, but I have no idea how desynced they are. But as we see with Tam swiftly doing the scores there, we've got a 20-point lead for Japan here. For USA here against Japan, that's what I meant to say. And so it's...
The first big gap of the match.
Yeah, this is actually largest point difference. But with only 4 races left, we're going to need Japan to start getting some wins if they're wanting to come back here. Alright, I believe we're seeing a few players leave the lobby because of the position glitches, I think. So they are just leaving and reforming, I believe. Which is perfect, because it gives me some time to see if we if the streams are working. Alright, so the lobby's almost done reforming here, so we'll be going into Cortex Castle as race 7. This is a track I know that my boy Piggy loves, so hoping to see a first place just for him, but past that, no idea how it's going to be going. So...
Free Cortex.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll start seeing Piggy say Cortex is free. I have no idea. If he gets first here, I'm going to tell him he's obligated to tell me that it's free. But yeah, it's going to be a fun one here. Cortex is, unlike most of the tracks aside from Twilight that we've had, or Clockwork as well, it's one of those fast blue fire tracks where if you do get hit off the pad, you will lose an incredible amount of time. Like on Dingo Canyon there are a few spots where we saw people getting hit, particular Megumi obviously being our POV, but even though they got hit and didn't have fire for 10 or so seconds, they did still hold their position and didn't lose too much time and were able to come back. But on Cortex Castle, if something like that happens, you are in a pretty bad spot and you can struggle to come back from it.
Yeah, the issue is basically blue fire. Blue fire is way more important than Sacred. If you lose that, it's game over.
Yeah, it really feels like they made a...
Yeah, blue fire is very unbalanced. we can see that.
Yeah, it really feels like they made an itemless game, like an itemless racing mode kind of thing, alongside an item kart racing mode, but didn't think that the two wouldn't blend together. Because like the driving mechanics, of course, and drifting and reserves, it's all really fantastic for playing and time trialing and racing. But when you add items into the mix, and then you get hit once, it's like GG's.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they probably thought, because the game was built without reserves, they probably thought, people aren't gonna keep fire after all. So yeah, but then they added reserves, and voila, the game is it is what it is.
It's a game that functions. Well, I don't even know if I can say that. It's a game. Full stop. Yeah, a game. Full stop. That's all I can say.
It's a game that exists.
No, wait, like Todd would say, it just works.
It just works.
It just works. Yeah, perfect.
I don't know. Asterix, barely. Alright, here we go, into Cortex Castle. I have to end the Madame Amberley theme, unfortunately. I do love that theme myself.
It's a game that functions, citation needed.
Yeah, honestly, Source, trust me, bro.
Yeah, my partner said that. Trust me, bro.
Alright, if these POVs mess up again, I will cry. So, we see SKND as usual going incredibly wide here. Megumi actually stopping here. SKND just unloading all 3 missiles into Megumi, just saying, you're not getting away today. So Megumi falling pretty far behind at the start here. Piggy is showing that Cortex Castle is free. Does beaker one of the Japanese players and gets a bit of a breakaway here. Does have Tsukineko on top of him, but Rare's right behind. No, Cortex isn't free. Piggy gets taken out here. So Tsukineko now in first with Rare right behind him. We see that SKND used their blue shield there to take Dre out, so now we're seeing a bit of a mix in the top 4, 2 from each team here.
What's that doing? Okay, I get it.
So we see Meg stacking reserves on the pad there for a second. Does have a blue shield though. They are in what looks to be 7th, so not the best place to have a shield. So Tsukineko has gained some ground away from Rare here, but Rare just playing it safe to make sure that they don't hit any traps that Tsukineko manages to lay. The two of them still have a sizable gap though, with Piggy in 3rd. All that time for building reserves for naught. Megumi hitting Rare's Nitro. Hitting his own teammates' Nitro, specifically. So we see Megumi falling really far behind now. Dre in 7th, probably going to be getting some masks most likely to try and catch up to Puya here, who is holding his own mask in 6th. Yeah, orb. Yeah, so we see an orb from Megumi here. So we'll see what Megumi does with this. It's a little detrimental, potentially, having an orb while being so far back. Oh, yeah, we see Tsukineko actually getting passed by Rare there because he lost fire. So Piggy's actually really close as well. Piggy with his strong lines, if he manages to not get hit here, he could secure a top 2, especially with Rare having a shield and an orb in storage from Megumi. And we see that it gets... Yeah, the orb's been thrown. We'll see how many it hits. We see that we know Puya has a dodge, but SKND does not. Not going for extra item rolls here, interestingly, in SKND. Does hit a Nitro in the same spot Megumi died, so the orb didn't matter, technically. For him, and we see that Tsukineko does get hit, so this means Piggy does come up into 2nd place here. Cortex is free. Dre masking SKND here. Are they going to be able to mask Romu as well? No, Romu actually goes around the shortcut just to make sure they hold their fire and they can maybe make the advance on Drewind here. Piggy and Rare in top 2, but Piggy gets taken out, and a clock happens.
Oh.
Looks like that's a clock from Megumi. I didn't even notice they had one. It wasn't. Oh,
It wasn't
interesting.
No.
Curious whose clock that was. As we see, Rare gets taken out. Yeah, that was a Japanese clock, because we do see that Puya gets the dodge here. Gets right up into first as they manage to shield Rare there. First is looking pretty secure now, as the other 3 in the top 4, which are from USA, are all coming up here. All on their own here, so not much they can do. It's a battle between Megumi and Tsukaneko. Tsukaneko getting the bomb there, so Tsukaneko is going to hold 5th place here as Megumi has no item to defend himself. Bottom 2 for Japan, too far away to do anything. So we have a hectic finish there. So yeah, I didn't realize. Oh yeah, that was a 5-point win for USA there. I didn't realize Megumi wasn't in 8th anymore, so that's why I presumed it was their clock. I didn't realize they had SKND and Romu behind them. I'm just blind.
No, I mean, it's okay. He had on your behalf, he had an engine. It's fairly similar. No, wait, never mind. Yeah, just prep that.
So yeah, unfortunately, say it with me, chat. Cortex wasn't free. So Dingo Canyon was free. Cortex wasn't free. So we'll see whether Engine Labs or Tiny Arena are free for Megumi and Piggy respectively. So we see that was a 5-point win for USA. So 25-point gap now. So still recoverable, of course, but it's looking like an uphill battle now. If Japan loses on Engine Labs, they're going to need pretty much 2 top 4s to be able to win. So they're going to need to start bringing their S++ game to destroy the US team on these upcoming tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tiny Arena could be one of those tracks in which they are very strong.
Yeah, Tiny Arena is a very snowbally track, I find, where if you start getting that lead, it's very easy to compound it and then just completely secure 1, 2, 3 positions as people break away really far. People up the front can, especially early laps, can go tight and put their items down, forcing everyone else to go wide, losing time, or go tight and hit the traps and lose even more time. So it can be a very difficult track to come back on, especially since masks don't help as much as on other tracks because the track's so bumpy, and masks don't really help you much when you're in the air for increasing your speed.
Power items could be an option, but yeah, Tiny Arena, it's still a very tactical race in the end.
Yeah, I think you can get a ridiculous amount of crates in a Tiny Arena. I think it's something like 9 in a lap. So power items, if you go for every crate, could be very, very common here. The issue is more so when people have been rolling power items, not the issue on Tiny Arena, it's their teammates rolling dodges.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I guess the reverse is also true in that, yes, you have 9 crates to roll power items, but that means you have 9 crates to roll shields. So technically, you'd usually not be seeing people going for all 9 crates when they're trying to front run, unless they have that big break, but they still have quite a few crates to get, even if they only take the tight lines. I think you can still get like 7.
I mean, and shields are more common than power items in general.
By heaps, especially in those top positions, like 3rd in particular. Now we are just seeing a redo. I think Megumi was already hosting, but they've reformed the lobby again. I think Dre's having more position glitches. So yeah, the lobby is starting now, so we'll be going into Engine Labs very shortly. Alright, Engine Labs isn't usually a track where there's an incredible amount of action comparative to some other tracks, particularly, some of the more chaotic tracks like Papu's and Dingo we've seen here. But having said that, this war in general has been utter chaos on like every race. We haven't really seen a tame race yet, so I'm very excited to see if we're going to be seeing a pillow-free Engine Labs.
I don't think so. Especially in the crossroads, there's going to be a massive amount of items, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point to bring up. I'm curious if on the cross path, if we're going to be seeing someone stop.
Yeah, we mentioned before, they could do that.
Yeah.
It depends on the situation. Like, if they need to, they'll probably do that, I suppose.
Alright, so here we go starting off. We're seeing our POVs just going tight for the moment. We'll see if anyone swings wide here. Rare Ghost gets a shield, but does take Piggy out, unfortunately. Did have a few people on top of him, so that is understandable here. Megumi just putting a tight TNT that no one seems to hit here. SKND still being tracked by a missile. Does point blank missile Rare there, so taking Rare out early on, but Rare losing fire, not keeping it outside of the tunnel. The never-ending missile does connect onto SKND though, so they've been they're floundering in the back now alongside Dre as they're endlessly squished by the barrel. We're seeing Megumi does get the breakaway so far. Looks like Labs is free, with Puya in second place here, with Sukaneko in third following up. Piggy and Rare not too far behind though in 4-5, but even so, closing gaps in general on Labs isn't the easiest thing to do. And we see the back bomb by Megumi, really nice one there, takes out Puya there. So Puya now in third, they're going to be caught up to by Piggy here, who's on top of them. We'll see if they can do anything, and they hit a beaker!
Oh, yeah, the tunnel was almost blocked.
Yeah, so they fall right down into 5th, potentially losing more positions as Piggy and Rare sneak up into 3-4 here. Sukaneko all alone there against the US Army as they are advancing on this poor little cat as Puya hits another Nitro. Oh, that's unfortunate for them.
Meg does double kill.
Yeah, Megumi just going tied up here, so not gaining too much ground on Sukaneko here, just trying to trap here to take out the final Japanese member. Not being able to do it yet, as we see Puya in the back with a mask here, but they've only got their teammates who are in bottom 3 with them. It's a massive gap between bottom 3 and everyone else here.
Yeah, they got destroyed.
Yeah, and we see that Romu hitting the Nitro Megumi lead, so they've fallen even further behind. So the top of the pack is pretty close.
Mamma mia!
He does take out Sukaneko here, so just proving how free Engine Labs is. So
what a race!
So Megumi,
what a race!
Megumi has run away with first at the moment. Piggy's not too far behind in second place, with Sukaneko there in third place, battling it out with Rare. Rare's got a bomb though. Is Rare going to be able to take him out here? Rare's going to wait for after the pad, and does hit him off of the pad, so now he's going to have to respawn, and Dre's going to be able to catch him as he actually lands after the turbo pad and has no fire. Dre combos, and now Japan have bottom 4, USA in the top 4 at the moment.
Oh my god, this is gonna be a bad pick for Japan.
Yeah, and Dre actually gets a back bomb there on Puya, so Puya falling down from 5th, just making it even harder for Japan to catch up here.
Oh,
and then hits a trapped Cray. Hits a trapped Cray. That's really unfortunate for Sukaneko. The Japanese team are just getting ended, but he has an orb now. And we only see that Rare has a shield. I don't know if Piggy has one, but we do see Megumi does not, so at least one of them would be hit. We do see there's a... Looks like Dre hit Megumi's trap there. So yeah, Dre being a bit of a Mongol. And the orb gets thrown.
Yeah.
So the orb's going to, looks like Dre rolled a last minute dodge actually. So the orb hits Puya, does hit Megumi, but Megumi's lead is so sizable, that's probably not going to matter. So this is still looking like it's going to be a top 4 for USA, despite the power item, because Dre was fortunate enough to get that dodge item. As Megumi regains fire, and while Megumi didn't technically get first, I think we can consider this Engine Labs free.
Oh, what a race from Meg! Absolutely.
Yeah, this was a gorgeous race to watch. Unfortunately for Japan, they got body bagged a little bit here, and I believe that actually secures the win for USA. But USA playing fantastically there, each member of the team taking out a different member of Japan at certain points and really pulling their own weight there. That was fantastic plays by USA.
Bad pick from Japan. Awful pick.
Yeah, I think Japan are going to be steering away from the Engine Labs pick, at least against USA.
Yeah, today marks the new day. No more engine.
We've said it before that it's one of those tracks that players pick as like, oh, this is a safe pick. We'll pick Engine Labs, and I think
No.
Japan aren't feeling that anymore.
You know, this track is one of the worst in my opinion. It's very bad.
So yeah, 44-point lead for USA, which means that Japan cannot win now. The most you can get in one race is 19. So with my very bad maths, that's 38 points. You can get maximum in 2 races over the other team. So the best Japan can do is minimize the loss to 6. So as we always say, point difference is important. So they're going to be playing as hard as they can to finish. But we'll see what the point difference ends up being. So GG's to USA for getting a fantastic top 4 and securing their win at the end of race 8.
GG's well played. Well played indeed.
So we'll be going into a tiny arena now. Piggy has another chance at redeeming himself to see if he can make a track free. We see Rare's done it, Megumi's done it. Oh, Megumi indirectly did it, didn't get first himself, but his team did. We'll see if Piggy can do it here.
I mean, Megumi didn't get first place because he got hit picked.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, he was pretty much first.
So 50% free, we'll call that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's half off, it's half off. Not that I'd want to buy Engine Labs, it's like you said, I don't like the track. I like it in time trials, that's about it.
I mean, in time trials, most of the tracks are good. The issue is with, wars.
I agree. Alright, so Tiny Arena is another one, kind of like Engine Labs, where we can see, I'm hoping we're going to see a big chaotic race compared to the normal where we see easy breakaways. So we'll see if USA keep the momentum going and get another massive win here, or if Japan are going to bust out the big guns and claw back at USA. Alright, here we go. We'll see how we go at the start here. Looking like Rare's going to be going wide for an item here, alongside SKND and Sukaneko. Does get triple missiles here. Is he going to be able to take out the Japanese players here? He does take one out. So SKND has been taken out here. Looks like Romu gets taken out as well. Is the third missile going to connect? Megumi gets taken out by a shield here. Gets hit into a really bad spot, actually. We see that Pukapuya gets a breakaway but does have no fire, so that's actually pretty scary when you've got Rare and Dre coming up behind you. Triple bombs here from Rare. Is unjuiced. Is he going to be able to get a hit here? That's 2 misses. He's going to be able to get juiced hopefully soon. Pukapuya's stealing the Wumpa though, so going to be safe for another daisy. Nitro's Rare! So Rare actually losing his second place there. Gets comboed by Sukaneko there. SKND getting taken out on the way though by Rare's final bomb. Megumi with the mask here, going to combo SKND and hopefully not team kill Rare. Almost with the team kill, very close. Piggy so far not proving that TA is free, as he's down in 7th at the moment. We'll see if he can battle off SKND here. Pukapuya actually showing that he feels that TA is free as he's running away with first. He does have no fire though, he must have hit a wall early on. Does have a gap on Dre and a bomb, so if you've lost fire, the bomb's probably what you want to be able to take out the opposition, but he probably won't even need it at this stage. We see Megumi in 4th here, does have a shield on. We see Rare gets taken out here, does go for the missile on SKND but misses, so Rare falling a little back here. but it's still early days and people are quite close. We see that Sukaneko getting double missile on poor Piggy there. Bomb coming back and narrowly missing everyone. Missile coming down on SKND. Is SKND going to be able to dodge it by going tight? They are.
Oh, he did.
So Piggy and Rare clustered in bottom 2 here, but we see that it's become a bit of a split pack here. Top 4 are really close together, and bottom 4 are pretty close together as well. So we'll see how the war goes in the pack here. Romu getting taken out as Megumi combos with a bomb. So
oh my.
Romu falling behind now.
Poor Romu.
Puya just laying tight traps here. Looks like Dre ate one of them, but then lost his shield for it. We'll see Megumi with a double shield doing rare tech here. Meanwhile, the actual Rare in the back here chaining engines with a mask on. Sukaneko getting taken out by the beacon mid-air on the S there, so Rare's going to be able to catch up and potentially get a squish, and he does get the squish off there. Really bad place to be squished as you get stuck on the hills there. Piggy going to be able to catch up here. Our top 2 POVs now covered with shields here. Probably just going to be going fast if they can and dodging the traps.
Ooh. I think Dre hit a repeater.
Yeah, we see that Dre's being caught up to now. Fallen down to 3rd with Megumi in 2nd place. Megumi has quite the gap to make up from Puya here. Puya taking pretty decent lines overall though. So we'll see if Megumi's strong lines can make him close the gap. But we do see 3 of our POVs now with shields. With Rare, the only one without a shield. Gonna see if he can make work of anything here.
He lost fire.
Yeah, Megumi going a bit too tight there, but not going to be losing a position to it, but it's really not going to be looking like they'll catch 1st place now, so Megumi likely to just try and hold the 2nd now. With such a sizable gap and 1 lap left, there's not too much they can do.
I mean, he has Dre behind him, so if anything, he has nothing to do.
Yeah, exactly. We see Puya just in 4th there, gets hit by an orb. Rare getting hit as well. So looking like Dre got hit as well. So we're looking at Romu catching up and actually takes out Dre. Romu getting up into 3rd here as Rare gets masked with Sukaneko coming past. Piggy in 8th place here alongside Rare. Both of them are falling a little back now after that orb. We'll see if they can make any form of comeback here. It's a really close pack as Dre gets taken out by SKND here, and then here's a Nitro.
Oh my.
And Megumi warning shields, throwing him away, trying to mine for the rest of his team.
Yeah, so we see that SKND just turns around here, has no item, goes to try and get fire back, but isn't going to be able to drift off the pad, looking terrible. They don't know if they should go back for fire. They've made a bit of a mistake there, but we'll see if they can recover with such a sizable gap now. That's really unfortunate for them.
I think Meg is going to try to hit Romu, and he does, but he was protected.
Yeah, oh no, but then Megumi hits that tight Nitro. Romu's going to be able to catch up.
Yeah, that's gonna.
And Romu slows down to double bomb. Really tactical move by Romu there, because now Sukaneko is going to be able to catch up. If Sukaneko has any item, Megumi might actually lose his position here. They're really close. Sukaneko going a little wide there, doesn't look to have the correct item. Romu driving into the wall there at the very end. I don't know what they were trying, but it didn't work. So we see that 1st, 2nd, and 4th for Japan here. As we see that Megumi getting 3rd place with the rest of the USA team getting bottom 4, with SKND rounding out 8th place here.
Those are some points recovered, I suppose.
Yeah, so that was a pretty decent race for Japan overall, in my opinion.
They just got unlucky in 2 races, so the rest is pretty much better.
Yeah, that was an incredibly well-played labs by Team USA, but that was an incredibly well-played Tiny Arena by Team Japan. So, other than, there was a bit of a mishap at the end of start of lap 5, sorry, by SKND, but other than that, I think it was a really well-played match. Unfortunate that, for Romu, I know he attempted to get Megumi out of 3rd place there with the double bomb strap, but Sukaneko was just too far away. So we've got 1 race left, and it's a 35-point gap. That was a 9-point win for Japan, so not as big as the previous win, but they are bringing the point gap back. They can very realistically bring this down into the 20-point range, which is pretty respectable in my opinion. I think 20 points is a close war.
Yeah, I agree.
So the final track is going to be Thunderstruck. So this is a track that anyone who has played this game casually, competitively, or even just watched the streams of the game knows that Thunderstruck is the least buggy track in the game. Collisions work perfectly, there are no unintended shortcuts, and it's really just the epitome of track design.
It's like, yeah, mamma mia, very good,
Like, anyone that points out a potential flaw, so-called flaw, on Thunderstruck is just bad at the track, and they won't admit it. There's nothing wrong with Thunderstruck, and you will probably be seeing that in this race. You won't see any egregious hitboxes from the spinning logs hitting people from miles away. You won't be seeing people missing their jump inputs for no reason. You won't be seeing any of that.
And those logs definitely won't be lagging out.
No, of course not. And we won't see people getting hit by the hammers from like 6 cart lengths away. No, of course not.
Oh, what did you say?
Not in my stream. So we're going into starting Thunderstruck now. As I said, we'll see this completely bug-free track come into action here. Let's showcase peak CTR gameplay.
You know, if Bruce was here, that would have been fun.
Oh yeah.
He knows this track inside out. He knows everything about this track.
Yeah. So Megumi taking out Romu early on there with a green shield. Megumi getting taken out by SKND's bomb though. So we've got a closely knit pack at the top. Rare fighting it out with SKND. Going to get the beaker off? No, actually Piggy gets beakered and Rare gets taken out. So SKND with the lead at the moment. Dre in second place here. So not much of a breakaway for SKND, but they do have the lead. We'll see if they can get the back bomb here. We see Puya with a mask and 6th if they're going to be able to take out anyone here. Rare losing fire, that's really unfortunate as Puya's... No, that wasn't Puya's bomb. Puya's still holding their bomb.
Got almost squished.
Yeah. Oh, and Rare almost getting squished, yeah. So we see Megumi just masking in the back here, going to try and catch up. We see that Puya... SKND, sorry, not making Timper there, getting hit. That's so unfortunate for them. So they're going to fall right behind us. Dre takes the lead with Sukaneko right on top of them there. Rare with an orb in 5th place. Uses it unjuiced as Dre dies, just to see if they can take out any of the Japanese players. It does hit Romu and does hit Sukaneko here.
Oh, a Mega's clock. Wow.
Oh, double power item from USA here. So Puya was about to sneak away with the lead, and Megumi said not so fast, and he's coming up instead. So now they sneak up, and Piggy masks through, I believe, the Japanese players, and now Piggy Megumi top 2 here, as everyone else has no fire at all. So this is going to be a massive breakaway for Team USA.
Oh, by the way, Thunderstruck and Clocks are match made in heaven, like
oh,
every
yeah.
time.
Oh
every
yeah.
time.
Oh, we see the SKND getting hit on the pad there. That's a not the worst spot to be hit, but it's pretty unfortunate for him. Does only get caught up to by his teammates, but Dre is in the middle of the Japanese players. Hits a red beaker hidden in the crate. So that's terrible. Getting hit after that fire, this is really going to demonstrate how bad it is to lose blue fire in this game.
And Rare's another orb.
Rare just flying out the power items. Romu dodges alongside Dre. Sukaneko gets hit right after the slow blue fire, so they're going to be caught up to here. Piggy looks like he's slowing down. Piggy actually dodges, just didn't have fire. And we see Megumi on our POV does have a shield here. Sukaneko getting taken out by Rare there, so Rare going to be passing up into 3rd as he overtakes Dre. So seeing a top 4 by USA here. Only took 3 power items.
Just 3.
Yeah. So power items are 3. So Puya with 2 masks here alongside his teammate. Looks like Romu in 6th. They're going to just be chaining masks. Romu falling off! Oh, Romu going a bit too tight there. That's really unfortunate for him. So doing a bit of a gamer move there. So we'll see if Sukaneko is the only one who's nearby. And Puya does have masks, but a little further back. They've only got 1 lap left as it's looking really unfortunate. Sukaneko getting taken out. So looking like Japan isn't going to be able to recover any positions from this unless one of the top 4 mess up and Puya takes up. And it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing that here. It's looking like a very solid finish for USA. We see top 4, Megumi, Piggy, Rare, Almost called him Mexic because it says Anton.
Go
That's what you
forward.
get, Dre. So Dre in 4th there, and then we see Japan finishing it
The
out.
worst ending possible. The
Yeah,
worst ending
that's
possible for
best ending for USA, worst ending for Japan.
Yeah.
So going to be seeing a 53-point difference, I believe, at the end there. So that was an incredible finish by Team USA. We had a really close start to this war, ending up at only like 5-point difference USA's favor after 3 races, and then USA really got the ball rolling after that, and they started getting some massive wins here, getting a top 3, 2 top 3s and a top 4 actually, and then we see a second top 4 to round off.
I mean, they do have the players to, make these absolutely amazing moves, especially like Meg performed extremely well.
Yeah, from the POVs we saw Meg played incredibly well. Dre did look like he was making some great item plays, but it was really hard to tell through the 4 pixels we could see.
He was trying to look for Aerobrine.
Yeah. Dre off playing his own game, just as Dre does. And somehow it worked out for him. Alright, so we see the final results here. We see it ended up with United States 222, Japan 168. 54-point difference in USA's favour here. So USA taking a win against Japan here. I believe that puts them at 2 wins overall in the in this World Cup so far of the 3 weeks we've played, and Japan sitting at 1 win currently. So we'll see how this affects the leaderboards here, going into the next 2 weeks. So USA getting another win here. They're going to be feeling really confident with that one. Getting 2 wins pretty much guarantees you're not going to be eliminated, though I don't think USA really felt pressured that they were going to be eliminated, but higher placements is going to mean going to be important for the seeding phase as well. So all the placements do matter for them.
Yeah, I mean, seeding is very important, and I think groups are where you must do your best.
Yeah, exactly.
At what cost?
So Japan, probably not feeling too pleased that they only have 1 win after the 3 weeks though, but we do have 2 more matches coming up for them, so they do have a chance to snag a second win and pretty much guarantee they won't be eliminated here. So currently neither team are looking to be on the chopping block, and Japan even after this match not looking like they're at incredible risk yet, but again, 2 weeks left, we don't know how the other teams are going to perform, so I don't like to count anyone out in case of massive upsets here, so...
I mean, in defense of Japan, they played Finland and then they played USA, so it's not easy considering that that team is mid-tier, I suppose. Mid to high tier.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, is when you've got... when you've been seeded against really strong opponents early on, it can just give you a bit of a bad start, and so we'll see where Japan go from here, though, because
I think they will perform better, in my opinion, the more we go.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll be seeing them do quite well in these next matches. So something I do want to bring up quickly on stream. I was hoping I could make it look a little nicer, but I'm a Mongo. I'll just do it. I just wanted to bring this up quickly for people. These are the current positions that we see here. I thought I would bring this up for everyone, and it looks like the match that just got played has already been inputted, as far as I can tell. So we are just waiting for, as you can see, we've got some scant 2s left on the board. The P stands for the matches played. Then you've got the wins, the losses, tie-breaking points, etc. And we see that we've got a few teams yet to play. Not too many though, but those matches are coming up. We've got Finland and Italy tomorrow, I believe. I believe it's 7 PM UTC. I will have to double check that one, but that one is coming up shortly. Tomorrow, of course. So we do see the with Japan, they have been placed 11th of 18 here. So after having the loss here, they are still sitting pretty comfortably, especially since they only have a minus 14 point difference here. So going to be going up against one of the teams close to them in the bracket here. So when you've been, with each week, you've been matched with other players close to you that you've not already faced. So we see that the United States have been put up into 7th after this. Potentially seeing them go against Colombia or Argentina. I don't believe they faced either.
No, otherwise they would have tie-breaking points.
Yeah, you're right. So for those unaware, the tie-breaking points go against people that have the same wins as you. If you, however many of those teams you've beaten. So that's why we see here, France, Japan, and Great Britain, Ireland have all beaten one of these teams that have a 1. That's why they have a tie-breaking point here, for clarification. So we do see that is where Japan do get seeded higher, as they have beaten one of these teams. I do forget which one they beat, but we can check that.
It was Peru.
Yes, Peru
yeah.
here, they won 229 to 161, So yeah, we are seeing, if we look, you can see bottom 2 are the ones that get eliminated here. Currently, Australia, Latin America, the 2 up for the chopping block, and they will be facing each other next week, as far as I can tell. So that's going to be an interesting match to be looking forward to next week. So we will see, we can't confirm all the other matches until we see Italy versus Finland here, which is going to be an incredibly hyped match. I, for one, am looking forward to it, though unfortunately I will not be home, so I won't be around to commentate that one. But we will be getting some very nice content with that war. Either team could win that, in my opinion.
I'm not gonna say anything
Yeah.
for obvious reasons.
So yeah, that was our quick look at the leaderboards. If you want to access those yourself, I can't type in the chat because of my widget. I'm not logged in. If someone could type !leaderboards for me, I tried to, but I don't. I am not logged in, so it's not letting me. Thank you, OBS. I think it's leaderboards, or is it leaderboard?
Oh, maybe without S. Okay.
Yes, there we
There
go.
you go.
So if you have a look in that doc, that's the doc I just pulled up. So you'll be able to check out all the little info down the bottom. You've got a few different things, such as who's playing. They've got different country rosters there. You also can see all the past results. You don't have the big scoreboards like I've got on screen now, but you do have the score summaries for each match, so you can see who won by how much. So keep an eye on that document.
For you.
Yeah, exactly. So keep an eye on that one if you want to see how the World Cup's progressing, even if you're only following it superficially. Can be good to keep an eye out for your favourite country. So yeah, that was the USA versus Japan match.
I hope you liked.
Yeah, and we see we've got a. I'll see if we've got any streamers to raid. Alright, we've got someone starting soon. A comp player that a few people here might know by the name of Komodo. We have not raided him on this channel before, as far as I'm aware. We can send you guys over here to have a look at his CTR content. Unaware of what he's going to be up to, but he is starting. We're catching the start of his stream, so perfect time to jump in and say hello. Send him your love.
Yes.
That is it from us. So as usual, GG's to both teams. Both teams playing incredibly well there, and we always appreciate having point of views put up so we have something to commentate. Stay tuned for the next match. If you're interested, you can follow us on Twitter. Join our Discord as well. I realise I have this open in another browser. There we go. So join us on our Twitter or on our Discord if you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest for the World Cup and other events as well. The Discord has many more events than just the World Cup, so plenty of things to look out for there. So that's the end from us. Thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you guys in the next one. Stay hydrated, everyone.
Have a good day.
Bye.